And this front page of the Daily Nation, it's pretty disheartening to see because it talks about retirees bearing the brunt of Ruto's M-Pesa rule. And down there in the story is the full story is on pages 2 and 3, but it says many senior citizens have been locked out of the Inua Jamii program following President William Ruto's directive that all disbursements be done through mobile money wallets. This stems from SIM registration hitches, including having national identity numbers with 7 digits or deemed too old. The reason it's so concerning is because you have all of these senior citizens in their 80s. And if you look at page 2 and 3, you have stories of people in their 70s, in their 80s. And to just narrow it down, as the paper has said, they want to go register a SIM card. You're told you can't because your ID is
has
7
too many
digits.
numbers.
It has too many numbers. Number one.
Wait, has too many numbers or
too many
little.
digits.
too few?
Actually, no, that I think about it, 7
digits. We have 8. So,
We have
so
8.
it's so that the digits do not add up with regards to height registers on the system.
Right.
Right. But they also talk about other concerns, right? So you look at an example of somebody saying a lot of them who could have at least had their children cushion it, don't trust their children, don't trust their grandchildren because they could be stealing for them. It's a very complex and layered issue. We can see that it's important that they move to mobile. But again, you know, we've talked a lot about transitioning people into something that they can get used to. A lot of them are feeling like we haven't been transitioned effectively. They're saying decision to dump banks for mobile money wallets was aimed at easing access to funds by the elderly and reducing fraud. But it's now locking out many intended beneficiaries who would have actually preferred accessing their banks, etc. One of those double-edged swords, because you are trying to get them towards digital access, but also have you transitioned them effectively? A lot of them are saying, nope, they haven't.
Right.
And when I try to access, now I'm denied. Some of them have said for 2 years, I haven't been able to access my funds.
I think it's also the human aspect because when you make me use mobile money, that means I have to be literate. Let's start with the basics.
Thank you
I
for
have
that.
to be literate and I have to have a phone that I can use effectively, that I can charge, and I have access to power to charge said phone so that I can get my 2,000 bob at the end of the month. That's already a problem. Now compound the fact that my ID has too few digits, too many digits, etc. I can't go to an office somewhere and speak to someone, or a bank somewhere and speak to someone and ask them, nisaidia kupata hii pesa. I have to just rely on my own tech savvy or on my grandkids or kids who may want to take that 2,000 bob away from me. It's it's again, lack of like thinking through the decision and its impact and everything. It's like, yes, we are tech first, we are digital savvy, we are Silicon Savannah. Not all of us are 15 and 16, you know?
Right, the policy adjustments and advocacy, I think that's important.
I can see where, because if you think about it, previously the Inua Jamii funds were going to banks, okay? Now you've got to think about access to the bank.
Okay.
So banks will not be omnipresent. Mobile money is almost omnipresent. You will find it everywhere, right? So it was more difficult to tell an 80-year-old person, board a matatu, go to town, go to bank, queue at bank, produce your ID, get your money, go back home. I mean, it's just making it such a lengthy process, and then you don't even know when to go. So you can see the sense of saying, let's actually take the money closer to them, send the money directly to their mobile wallet. Secondly, because of the issue of fraud, the decision was advised by President Ruto in a past discussion and aimed at easing access to funds for the elderly and reducing fraud, which has dogged the Inua Jamii program. Unscrupulous individuals used the registration details of beneficiaries to receive funds at the expense of several senior citizens and orphans and disabled individuals. Use of mobile money wallet was meant to end this. I can see that. I think
the vision
here this should be just a simple, direct issue of talk to. There are only 3 mobile network operators in Kenya. Only 3. Talk to those 3. You already have a list at the State Department for for social protection. You have a list of the beneficiaries. Give this list to these guys. This is the ID number. Tell mobile network operators. So how do you onboard these people more seamlessly? If it's an issue of can you use ID plus, then this the fact that they are on this list, then you do that and you onboard this person.
What happens when they can't, they see a notification, but they don't know what it is. They give it to their child or their grandchild, and they go to the M-Pesa store with their ID and nice, not 2,000 bob yao.
So here's the thing. Who has the mobile phone? It's the elderly person, right? So now work around, how does this elderly person then benefit from or secure these funds? Because also they are receiving a notification to go to a bank to go and withdraw money, and they'd go with the help of somebody. If it's those who are living with disability, the orphans, the elderly, they would go with somebody to the bank, walk with this person to the bank. So your grandchild already knows that you're walking out here with money. And if it's about issues of literacy and numeracy and you're fearing that, then already they are being conned.
That's fair, actually. Yeah,
I know.
Is this a new platform?
It's for them. It's almost like new fear unlocked.
Yeah.
There's already been conned there. But right, yeah. So some don't have mobile phones. Others are illiterate and have fallen prey to wayward relatives entrusted with their mobile money wallet. I think to Latif's point, how are we just seamlessly streamlining some of these? Because the intention is good. It's helpful. It allows that quick and easy access, but you're talking to people who for 40, 50 years have only known to do things a certain way. Again, we rush to implement things. So where is the policy advocacy, trying to explain the adjustments, trying to educate and enhance that knowledge? I feel like that's the missing link. I really feel like I want to follow up on this story. I think we should at some point, just to find out how we can create access for them.